We're live. You can't be seen. You can be seen. Oh, you have to. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Do it.
Not me.
Fight. Fight. Well, now you stop.
Yeah, they're shy.
They were headbutting and everything earlier. Good. That's no. You guys are bored. No, you did. They do it right underneath me.
But that was butt-butting, not head-butting.
Come on.
You're gonna do it. Do it.
Just don't take the table with you. Mind the needle binding. They don't. They got it public. They don't like the audience. We've got popcorn. We're ready. Headbutt. Play.
They say we do not perform for
Yeah,
your
but you-
entertainment.
As soon as I put this back, they're going to do it. You know it.
I know that. That's why I'm saying they do not perform for our entertainment.
This is Grotas, which means the gray one. He's since turned white. And that one's Svarten. He's a little bit more skittish. His name means Blackie, and he's gone gray. So, and when we first got him, though, he was gray, and he was gray, and he was black. You can see by the legs, actually. But now they're not playing. They're being boring. Bad sheep. They are.
Okay, you can carry on now. You two.
Yeah. Can you show them what you are? Come here. I think you can hear me as long as I look at the camera. And I don't talk super fast if they turn around. But they're Gammelnorsk spelsow, or Old Norwegian short-tailed landrace. Maybe if I tilt the camera down a bit. Ta-da-da-da. There you go. And we like your wool. I made a hat out of it. I should have brought that. Anyway, hello. Greg's over there. He's hiding. Red hair. Needs rebraiding. Oh, shit. Now you're doing it again. What the hell?
I said it's not for our entertainment.
The sheep, when they play, they do like this, kind of like cats paw each other.
So if you see the table, or more accurately, the computer
You know,
going
just
flying,
like that.
then you know what happens.
You gonna do it? Are you gonna do it? They're just literally walking circles around the table. Come here. Oh,
Under the view, so nobody sees it. They will
come here. Come here. Come here. You can headbutt me. It'll be fun. Anything for ratings. No, fine.
There they go. Oh.
Wait. Just be real quiet. You can do better than that.
He says, no way. We gave you a bump. Come on.
Hopefully you got that. They are brothers. They're allowed. And they are. So it's there's no competition unless they really like that I'm female. Oh. Anyway, hello. How warm is it today? I
5?
forgot to check. I think it's 5, yeah. Maybe 45, maybe
5 degrees
in
centigrade.
Fahrenheit. Yeah. About 5 degrees. It's nice anyway. I don't really need this. Oh, you wish.
That's where this becomes a completely different stream when I go away.
Oh, come on, Greg. Just a few layers. That's all I ask. Okay, anyway, I saw that there was a comment earlier about... Do it.
Brother. It's okay. We're brothers. We're happy.
Someone ordered needles from Grimfrost anyway and wanted to know how to treat them, bone and wood needles, and if they needed to be oiled. You can. I mean, but if you use them often enough with wool has lanolin in it naturally. You little shits.
Why are you coming to me? I'm not going to protect you.
They're doing it right under my butt. They're just playing. It's so fun, but they won't do it for the camera. So if you're not seasick by now, Karl did shower today, I swear. This sheep is sniffing you. Okay, I'm going to put this down and they're going to play again. No, anyway, but the wool has so much lanolin in it that you could literally, oops, take that through. Just by using it, it oils the needle up just fine. You can hear it at least. Did you take out? Did they take you out? This one looks guilty. This one looks guilty.
It was the other one that took Karl out.
This guy butted the other one in the side, so he fly under my knees.
And whip.
We're not doing anything. Carry on.
There's no camera to be seen here, Sheepy. So they're very actually it looks like they're fighting and they're pissed off, but they're actually very excited because there's people here right now to play with them. I'm so disappointed in this sheep.
Oh, I don't know. We got an even better thing. We got Karl flying through the air.
I wasn't going to show this, but now that it's in shot, do you see what happened there? Big wind. We had really big wind and it knocked down the wall behind the axe throwing, and that's being repaired as we speak this weekend. But massive wind. When it blows through here, it hits hard. That's not the only wall that got knocked down. Anyway.
No, it took me with it.
Yeah? It did.
I'm making a joke here.
Yeah, but it would have been much more better if it was true. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so as far as keeping your needles oiled, you can just literally... I've never oiled mine. I've never, not even waxed anything. Even bought some that weren't treated at all, and they just...
There's probably a lot of woodworkers in the world right now absolutely weeping that you've never waxed or done anything.
Yeah, but they've never broken either. The only one that ever broke was
just-
the bone when I dropped on the floor. And even that one's holding up nicely with glue for the third time.
But there is you use wool that still has some lanolin in it.
Yep.
Right?
That's the thing, is the wool has enough lanolin in it just by pulling it through every single stitch. And if you don't like wool, because some people are allergic to wool or come from warmer places and don't want to use it, that's fine. You just need a piece of wool and just do that. Otherwise, you can oil them and everything, but I'd be a little worried about getting oil residue on white yarn. But, you know, if you dry them and polish them or such, but it's because there's actually people who sell oil, or was it needle maintenance kits. And not going to say there's a use for that, but I use wool. Yeah. So I probably just made a few enemies there. Anyway, there was somebody who was asking about that earlier. Charlotte is here. Hello, Charlotte. Come play with the sheep. They miss you. Drea is here. It's 30, so it's a little colder in Duluth right now than it is here. And they got giant snow clumps creating a new blanket of snow over her partially raked yard. Second winter has come. We did get snow up there, you can see. It's focusing a little on Karl, but if I lift it up like that, it'll focus behind him. So that's new powder. So we might get avalanches, considering it's still melting.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know how many of you were here when I explained what happened to our water pipes at my house.
Oh, quickly recap. You need to.
Basically, water pipes got crushed and then froze, and then complete and utter catastrophe. So they had to dig up the ground to get to the pipes to cut out a section and repair it. Well, they couldn't fill in the holes because it was, by the time they had repaired it, it had gotten cold again and it was frozen. And then they must have forgotten, so they didn't come to do it for weeks. And then Dad got a bit annoyed and called them, and they said, "Yep, we'll be there tomorrow." Guess what happened the day before, or the evening before?
It froze again?
Froze again?
No, not the water. It snowed.
Aha! So you have to
And
just
that's what they were saying, that they wouldn't do it if it had snowed.
Oh, no.
Luckily, it melted in the morning, but it was still like, uh-oh.
And so that whole pipe fix thing, that was just a matter of hours, right? How many weeks did you have to go
Well,
without
we didn't
water?
have water for at least 2.5, maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah, that would make me mad.
And the 2 weeks was because the ground was frozen and they couldn't dig it up. Then they finally dug it up and repaired it. But that it took a day to dig it up, and then it took another day to repair the damn pipe.
Oh,
So it took a while.
but you have water now, or are you still waiting?
We have water now.
That's good.
We actually have water better than we have had it for the past 5 or 6 years.
Also, maybe there was a purpose behind this whole
Yes.
catastrophe.
Yes.
Oh, it's good to know.
Yes. Purpose, get Dad's pocketbook out.
Any advice on headband making? Should I even increase or decrease? If you're just making a headband, you could literally just go straight up because your head, if you're a blockhead like me, it's the same about from here to here. It's not until you get here that it starts decreasing. So, and then of course, when you wear a headband, it kind of goes down in the back. So you don't actually have to decrease at all. But when you make your chain, make sure that it's, at least a hand or 2 fingers wider than your head the first chain, because over the first 3 rounds, it's going to decrease a little bit, and then it'll even out. But try on as you go. So you should only have to increase or decrease if it was accidentally too big or too small. So you can do that. I would do the whole thing the same way. I do it the exact same way I do a hat, except for you stop before it starts decreasing. Peruda's here. Thank you for moderating, Peruda. We love you. I'm cozy and comfortable. Are you cozy and comfortable?
Yeah.
We have a chair.
My back's okay at the moment, so.
It's warm in the Adirondacks, Adirondacks slightly warm. It's about the same as the Adirondacks here. It's 9 degrees Celsius there. Spring and sunny. Robin is here. Susan, by the way, is here. Albert is here. Lovely sheep. Regina is here. Heidi Lisette is here. Oh, God, we have a lot. I've been a little bit chatty with the damn sheep. We have, 2 Robins, not 1 Robin. Raymond Robert is here all the way from Australia. He's suffering in 19, but it was 29 earlier. How's that mountain going, by the way, Greg?
Well,
clearly you can't see it. It's gone. He packed it.
Can you see it? Can you see it? It's on the way. Send it over. Send the heat over. Come on. Deal's a deal.
The mountain is gone. No mountain there. Oh, so that was good. How was it for shipping?
Well, I don't know.
It's stuck in the Suez Canal.
Yeah, probably. That sounds about bloody right.
It'll be on its way shortly.
You know how they keep saying they can't move that container? Now you know why it's so bloody heavy.
So while I catch up on chat, Karl, for those who are not aware of what's going on, this is Suez Canal. You've been following this religiously.
Yeah,
Would you like to tell them?
I'm assuming that most people are aware of it. It's a container ship that has managed to completely block off the Suez Canal. So there are no piling up with ships on both sides waiting to get through. And the Egyptians have brought out the big guns, so they have one small digger trying to dig out the
Oh, God.
I hope it's a little bit more professional than it appears to be, but oh my God.
You said the digger turned out to be slightly bigger than it looked. It looked like this little thing because the ship is this big. Digger, ship. But it turns out it's actually kind of a big digger.
It's big. It's much bigger than the ones you see around roads here in Norway. But compared to a container ship and the Suez Canal, it's kind of small.
Oh, this has got to be super expensive though, because traffic is backed up in both directions.
Yes. The oil prices has gone up because of this, and it's an enormously high percentile of goods transported in the world goes through that channel. So.
So then, maybe I should fill gas in my car before tomorrow. As I have noticed, it's gone almost up to 18 kroner per liter here.
Yes, I don't think you have to go through the Suez to get back home to Vestby, but.
No, but I would like the gas that goes in my car. Not for another week and a half.
I was going to say, go to Voss and fill up there.
Oh, good, because we're going on Monday.
If you go, perfect. Well, in that case, go to where Class Olsen is, fill up there. It's 13.99.
Oh, perfect. That's what we like. Anything other 14 and under is good. Liters per gallon. It is way more expensive here.
I mean, that's gone up because that's gone up by 1 krona.
Oh, wow. Well, no, Vestby is usually 12, 13, but over here it was 18 almost. It was 1747, I think.
Stay away from that.
Albert rates that he got this wool that he ordered, and it's real Bunad wool. So if anybody needs wool, I think he had to buy like 20 meters, but he got a really good deal on it anyway. And it was like 133 kroner per meter anyway. And he might have a little too much that he knows to work with. So send him a message. His name is Alder Cover on there. I would totally be buying it if that house behind me, this is my house, wasn't chock full of wool right now that I need to use up. Because I keep saying I'm going to do things and they end up like the blacksmith sweater. Yeah, I'm working on that.
I'm just going to say tunic socks.
Yeah. I got... If you quit doing it this year. No, they're longer though. They're much
Oh,
longer.
yay!
They're longer. I still got a bit more to do before you try them on, but they're cool. These are the Mom and Stitch ones. But look at the way the multicolored yarn is integrating.
Oh, I'm a rich
I
Viking.
love that. Oh yeah, you're a rich Viking, all right.
How much purple, blue, red, and pink are in that?
If you're feeling embarrassed, just pull your trousers on top of them and no one will ever know. But they're cool.
Hell no, I'm showing it off.
And then
I'm
if you
richer
turn
than
it
Gail.
around, it looks
No
like...
Viking is embarrassed by wealth.
Exactly.
I'll explain, Karl. Because some people have a different opinion, but I agree with you there. No Viking is ashamed by wealth. Or embarrassed by wealth, you said.
Yeah, you don't have a bank account, so obviously you show your wealth on you. This is not a symbol of my wealth. This is my actual wealth.
If
If
you
I
can
have
see
to buy
it.
something, I have silver to buy it with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Greg's looking blingy too. Ooh.
Oh, and of course.
Oh, yeah. I need one of those.
I haven't got my silver beard in though.
I've only gone bronze. I'm assuming you can see. Oh, but more bronze. But this one was more. But I don't know what the difference is between this and the other ones. It's really...
That one's using wax casting.
Maybe that's it. That one is from Valhalla Silver.
Yep.
Yeah.
He does it the actual way that they did it, which
Yeah.
is why it's costing a bit more.
Ah,
Which is good because it's more accurate.
the sheep are naughty things. Just catching up. Jacqueline is here from Arizona. It's going to be a chilly 75 today. That's summer in Duluth, where I'm from, where Drea is from as well, I saw. Ashley says, like the Mom and Stitch, I'm really behind. Lovely and Mamory. Yeah, the Mamory embroidery on my hood. I chose the wrong colors intentionally. And because this originally was only going to go here, the math is not done correctly. If your OCD can see the pattern, I will own that one.
Hmm?
You don't see it? Because I started here, and then I went around, and I was only going to do the front panel.
Okay.
And then by the time I came all the way around, it wasn't originally gauged for that, so I kind of had to fake it here. It's supposed to look like that. So you don't have to tell anyone because I already did. No, but
Yes, I see you have activated Greg's OCD.
how do you feel, Greg? I was doing embroidery on your shirt. Do you feel okay about that now? The tunic I'm embroidering.
Does anyone know who can do embroidery? I have a shirt that needs to be embroidered, and
It's half done with really, really skinny silk. That's why it's taking forever. I will get some more done, but right now it's too cold for you to wear it anyway. So there. Ha! I will finish. Car wax works on the needle.
wearing this.
Oh yeah, no, you
So
will
I
be
wouldn't say that it's that cold for it.
The
Nice
horn
try.
needles are Ashley's favorite. She broke a bone one just the other day by barely pulling the yarn. Yeah, if the eye, that did actually happen on one I was testing. The eye was too thin. Here. So when the eye was thin and then I pulled through it, I'm using thick yarn and everything, then it wasn't actually meant for that. And
Snap.
yeah, but that was a test one for someone. So I'm like, oh, and he's like, well, no, that's why you're testing it. Imagine if I sold it to someone and it did that. So, but the bone ones can be glued together. I have done that with one that I broke in the eye as well. Regina likes horn needles as well because she says they're flexible and warm in your hand, or they warm in your hand and become flexible, which is true.
I don't know why I'm nodding. I have no idea about any of this.
So Albert's going to consider, you're going to make your own bunad now, Albert. No, it's because he's got the right amount there. You should do that. That's a lot of work, but it's so worth it because those things are flipping expensive. If you don't know what a bunad is, it's a traditional Norwegian costume. They wear them here all the time, though. They wear them for the 17th of May, confirmations, Christmas, family gather, like big family gatherings. The ships are rerouting around the Cape of Good Hope again. Yay. Or no, not yay. Let me rephrase that. A Viking rich beyond the dreams of avarice with those colors.
No, but it's worrying when you have people who can't manage to stay in a canal and now trying to navigate around the Cape of Good Hope.
Aren't there pirates around that area?
I'm sorry?
Aren't there pirates around that area too?
No, they are
Here.
on the east side of Africa.
Ah, okay.
My mom had to go through pirate training when her cruise ship was going to
fun.
Egypt. Yeah. So no, but Albert said at the very end of the last stream that Greg should have Schuldenham socks. He said at the the Schuldenham socks, they're sewn. Actually, they're two pieces of fabric sewn together. I had those. I think somebody borrowed the pattern and I didn't get it back, but I can get another one.
I've just gone with preemptive strike today.
I think
Preemptive
he's
strike.
trying to tell me something. I will finish them. No, he's going to try them.
Problem is, though, I don't know whether you saw, it's now doing
Your
that to the
shoe is
shoes.
starting, the insole's coming out. Good morning, Arlene Cross. She's at 17 in Manitoba. And she's sitting outside too. Prudis got a curved antler needle that she likes. It cuts. Yeah, that does help with the wrist strain for some reason. Curved. What's Karl's favorite fighter story?
Fighter story.
Fighter story. There's this one this summer that I think was quite fun where Greg injured you. First he disarmed you and then he
No.
did something to your finger that now makes it go like...
My favorite story of personal experience is Indian television.
Okay.
That's my favorite as well.
I need to hear this one. Tell me.
This is embarrassing because I know better on almost every level. But I'm guiding most of the time, so I have very little time to practice. And I have little time and energy left for weapon maintenance. And we had Indian television. According to somebody, this is a program that is routinely seen by 600 million people or something like that. It's and their idea is to travel around with an Englishman, and kind of the premise for the show is that we are showing this guy how to be a Viking. And I really don't like to spar with people who have never done it before, because I know enough not to hurt them, but I can't say for sure that they know enough not to hurt me. And when I'm told to do it, I think, okay, let's just get it over with very quickly so that the risk to me is minimal. He is fighting with the sword and the shield, and I'm fighting with the axe and the skarmas axe. So my plan is to just take my axe over his shield, pull his shield down, and then cut him across the stomach with the skarmas axe. Fight over. That's the plan. Here is the problem. It's been a very, very dry summer, and my axe shaft has shrunk.
Oh, there's an Indian under there.
I know.
Oh, sorry.
So what happens immediately when we start fighting is that my axe comes up, goes over his shield, I pull back, my axe head flies off in a random direction, and both me and him stands there staring at this stick for like 2 or 3 seconds before we just continue to fight. Me now with a skarmas axe and the stick, and him with sword and shield.
You didn't have the stick. You went like this, you went... And he just threw it away.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
And obviously he kills me. And the Indian film crew is ecstatic with happiness. And I'm pretty sure they used that shot because they spent the next hour or so filming reaction shots from everybody standing around. Basically, they go up to people, put the camera in their face and say, "Look, very surprised."
It was so funny.
But I got to ask, where did the axe head actually land? Because I'm kind of concerned for the spectator who may have looked more surprised than necessary.
Yeah, no, it thankfully didn't hit anybody.
Oh, that's good.
If it was going to hit anyone, it would have hit the cameraman. But it
Yeah.
didn't.
Oh, luckily.
So I'm just waiting for as soon as this pandemic is over, we'll have a large influx of Indian tourists who ask in the gate, "Can we see the idiot?"
And so you're going to be designated village idiot. Somebody's got to have that role. It's usually me, but thanks for stepping up. Greg, I assume you have a really good, what's your favorite fighting story?
I think Karl just told it. I
Well,
was there
number
watching.
one?
Oh,
One that was personal to you, though. One that you actually participated in.
God. I mean, the only one that really springs to mind was... oh, yes. No, I know the one.
Yeah?
I was actually, again, fighting with a couple of untrained people, and I was trying to teach them what to do. But I was going with a slightly different approach to Karl, where my approach was distance from the bastard attacking me. So I was actually using a quarterstaff while they were using a sword and a shield.
Yeah.
And every time they got anywhere near me, I would manage to defeat them. And I was getting them so annoyed by this that in the end they said, "Can we switch weapons for a bit?" I, like an idiot, agree and give them my quarterstaff and take the sword and shield. And this guy, having no idea and flailing around and attacking me, manages to clock me right in the temple, hard enough to make me actually spin and go, okay, I'm out for a few minutes.
Literally
Carry
out.
on. And carried on like that.
Is this why we don't play with tourists anymore when it comes to fighting?
This
No,
wasn't a tourist. This was a Viking who had no idea what they were doing.
even worse. Oh no.
They are generally worse.
Let's see.
Oh, dear.
Just reading through here a little quickly to see what Karl is wearing his new gloves. Yes, somebody wanted to see those in action, and I forgot to take a photo of him in action. There we go. They're shoved up right now because he's got him on he put him on after his jacket. But so I threw Karl under the bus. I did a post of Karl is freezing was the name of my post because we came out and did filming here, and he had those little thin fighter glove ones that I made him. But the problem is with the fighter ones, they each have individual fingers, so you can't tuck your hand in kind of like he's doing there. So we thought he could wear those still, but underneath here, and he could fold them up or down like that if he wants to and have more finger or cover them up. But he could easily tuck his fingers in between trips. But because I tend to make them form fit here, I extend only on one side for some reason instead of both. You need to know which is the right hand and then which is the left hand, or they fit kind of different. So I asked him, what should we do? We'll do some embroidery. What should we do to decide what's going to be right and left? And so he decided shield and sword, but it had to, and somebody actually picked up on that, thought it was really smart that you wouldn't remember right and left because that's too complicated for a Viking, but they would remember the shield hand and the sword hand. And then we had to design them. It was this one probably took the most work. The embroidery was simple, but the shaft had to be, or the hilt had to be just right, in that everything had to be proportionally right, including the tip of the sword.
Yeah. And it's also proportional to the shield.
Yes, that was very important. There's a lot of work went into the embroidery. I made them draw. No, but are they warm? Those
Yeah,
are much
they're
thicker
good.
than your other ones. They're mom and stitch, but it's a thicker yarn. We used Bologna from Hillesvåg. They like your stories, by the way, with the big capital letters. Lindsay loves the story. Albert says that also happened to his fighting group as well, many times on show fights. It's hard to be a Viking reenactor. Let's see. Just checking up really quick. Headshot is a no-go in fighting. Yeah, what are the rules? It's the t-shirt area.
Oh, he didn't do it on purpose, in all fairness.
It's the t-shirt area. The problem with the untrained ones is that they get enthusiastic,
Yeah.
and then they lose control, and then they hit you in the head. So back in 2011, I used the Saxon helmet with the full faceplate.
Yeah.
It's Saxon, but it's late Saxon. So it's it's based on a relief from
Relief?
Really.
from Italian church that shows some kind of peace treaty between the Italians and the Normans.
Mhm.
And one of the Normans is carrying one of these helmets. And I know it is not authentic, but then when I'm fighting against rank amateurs, I absolutely want to protect my face.
Do bone or horn needles need oil like wood? They say bone can, because bone can get dry, but the wool just fixes it on its own. I don't think horn does, though. But it could be wrong there, by the way. I just noticed this question. Yeah, so you're wearing your new gloves. I'll get an action shot of that later. Yurdis is here. Hello. And Asylum Farm. Greetings from Wisconsin. Looks like we're having the same weather. Oh, yeah, it's a small world. Except we got mountains. We go further up.
But we're missing one.
We're missing one because we sent it to Australia in exchange for hot weather.
I'm not getting the end of the deal here.
No, it got stuck in the Suez Canal.
Yeah.
We know about this now. This is
Yeah,
okay.
And the good weather is on the other side of the Suez Canal.
No.
Good job, as always, says Charlotte. My mom is a fan. I like her parent. Her family is wonderful. Do the thumbs get cold with those? My thumbs get cold with
Hang on,
mine.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
go
just have
ahead.
to point out, shouldn't the weather be coming by airmail?
Yeah.
I mean, I get the mountain going by container, but the weather? Come on.
Yeah, he says one of them is stuck in the canals, the mountain. Yeah, but what about the weather, Raymond? Wouldn't you be sending that with airmail? Tell Karl his no show fight without an axe or a spear flying anyway. Oh, it's no show fight without an axe or a spear flying anyway. So there you go. You're just taking one for the tourists. But yeah, yours. Hold up your hand because I forgot to do one thing on yours. I will usually bind a couple of rows so it's up to here on the thumb, and I forgot to do that on his. But I made sure to use all the wool here, so he might get some there. But do you find your thumbs get cold with those?
It's not cold enough today to notice.
Yeah.
So I can't say for sure, but if that should be a problem, I could always.
Oh, you look like a Muppet.
Yep.
A Viking Muppet. Oh, mine has a little bit of a thumb on it. So I'll have to see, though. Otherwise, I might have some more of that, maybe in a different color at least. But anyway, moving along. We watched a movie, and I put it up in there it's in the the description. What was it? I have to read what it's called again because I forgot. It's such a long name. No, not that one. Yeah, Viking Women, the Saga of the Viking Women and their Voyage to the Waters of the Great Sea from 1957.
Great Sea Serpent, wasn't it?
The Great Sea Serpent, probably. I might have typed it in wrong, but how do you feel about this movie, Karl?
Well,
it's on YouTube.
As usual, it's not particularly correct in any way. But I'm giving them a little bit of leeway because of the Great Sea Serpent and the pretty high level of fantasy that seems to be involved there. And also, this movie was from what, 1957?
1957, so...
Yeah.
Are you saying that Jormungand is not real?
It's not Jormungand, it's some kind of catfish-looking
it was a hand puppet.
Serpent.
And it picked up the boat and it went like this.
These women
Oh, dear.
are some weird mix between independent Viking women and very, very dependent 50s women. So they are building a ship, which is one of the funniest scenes I've seen in movies ever. And traveling out to find their man, or to find some man in the single women's cases. It's a weird fantasy movie, but they are...
Tell them about the shipbuilding. What's so special with that?
It's a flat pack IKEA ship that you just basically put together.
You get the little what's that called? The key thing that you use for
Allen key.
The Allen key, yeah, to screw it together. Okay, and there was even the head of the Viking ship, the serpent thing, was flat pack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything.
Okay, and continue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but that was one of my favorite parts. The flat pack Viking ship.
They are caught in a vortex with the serpent that they somehow fight off.
Mhm.
And then they land on the same island or whatever where their husbands or their lovers are.
They're being held prisoner, but by who?
They are immediately taken prisoner by, what's his phrase?
Donald Draper from Mad Men.
Yep. And his very, very helpless son.
Oh, he was such a pansy.
Oh my God.
Go ahead, explain.
And he really can't do anything right, and he has this "yes, but I'm a prince" reaction to everything. I'm giving it a little bit more leeway than the last one because, first of all, fantasy.
Yeah.
Secondly, they are kind of, in a way, hitting on the independence of women in the Viking Age. They are hitting on it from the completely wrong direction, and almost everything is wrong. But at least they have enough agency to go and do shit. So it's not as bad.
No, they're fine now. They just came full charging. I thought Karl was going to go flying, but
I thought I was going flying.
well, actually, the trick with the sheep, only to interrupt for a second, though, the trick with the sheep is they come running at you, but that if you stand still, they'll go around you. If you start moving, then you'll freak them out and they may actually hit you on accident. But anyway, continue, Karl, about the women's rights movement with it. It was 1957, so
Yes.
they are scantily clad and falling out of boats left and right, and there definitely is.
They are not super scantily clad.
No.
They were probably horrendously scantily clad from 1957, but nothing to cause any reaction today.
But that's how they get the men to watch the movie. think the women watched it
and
for.
at least some of them are emotional psychopaths. The dark-haired troll woman is not somebody I would like to work with, to put it like that.
Yeah.
She goes from, I'll sabotage the ship. To,
Oh yeah, and she was the only one that didn't have blonde hair.
yes, and her way of sabotaging the ship is losing the thing the sail hangs from, the rope.
Oh,
So it falls down, and then they just hang it back up again, and she is going in a corner. When they are taken prisoner, she immediately befriends their captors, and
Yeah, they start.
she wants one of the Viking men. He doesn't want her. Then she wants him executed. Then she doesn't want him executed. She is very emotional and unstable.
But the prince, the reason we met the prince is because he was out and a wild boar went to attack. And what happened then, Karl?
Now, he is boar hunting, so he's, strictly speaking, attacking the wild boar. He's just extremely bad at it.
And the wild boar instead charges him.
Yes, then one of the Viking women rides by and kills the boar.
With a spear, yeah.
Whereupon she, for some reason, not that I don't really understand, lets him claim that it was his spear and he killed it.
Because he couldn't let a woman outshow him to his father, Donald Draper.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be bad.
But he never repays her for that service, as far as I saw.
No, they started during the dinner party anyway. He was supposed to lend her some credit.
There's the word. So long as you saw.
Yeah, no, this
It's 1950 movie. I mean, they're not going to show what the return of was.
No, it was during the banquet, because I think also, I mean, during the banquet, the Viking women were either being hauled off for sex, we assume, we don't know, or they were dancing like drugged, crazy nut jobs on tables and things. But because she wasn't manhandled, I think she was protected a little bit by him. But then he started to be a weenie, and she gave him a look and quickly snapped back into shape.
It's a lot of spear throwing in this movie. They vote by throwing, when the Viking women decide to leave, they vote by throwing spears at the leave tree or the stay tree. And I'm not super good at spear throwing myself, but I can say with near 100% certainty that they kind of show the cut of the woman throwing the spear, and then they show the cut of the spear hitting the tree. And I can say with near 100% certainty that none of the spears thrown would hit anywhere near the tree, and if they did, I would probably hit shaft first. Because it's like that.
But we forgot to mention, in the other movie we saw what was it called? The one with Vladimir Putin.
In the Putin movie, they do the same thing.
They vote as well with that. But
there they are voting with axe throwing. And everything is kind of like ballet.
Yeah. Eric the Viking, I think it was.
Yeah, a bunch of Vikings come running in, and they're basically dancing and throwing their axes and then dancing out again. And the next group comes in and votes.
Yeah. So now we were going to actually mention about that. Okay, so we have one group voting with axe throwing, one group voting with spears. Is this actually how they decided to vote? Or are they just trying to, in my opinion, I think they're just trying to show representation that they voted.
Yes, that's probably it.
And that woman had an equal vote, I guess. I don't know.
Probably want to say
that. I didn't historically, but
no, or something.
Want to show that people could vote, and yet at the same time want to make it interesting for people watching.
Yeah.
I guess so. At least I can't say that I've seen anything in the sources about anything that even vaguely resembles this.
But now we found a use for axe throwing in the Viking Age. They could use it for voting.
Oh no, they also used it to judge women who might or might not have been unfaithful to their husbands.
Oh, this is true. No, so, that movie is a mouthful. Raymond is going to organize an airdrop for you, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Very appreciated.
And Lindsay's going to add some, roaster around her thumb. I think you'll make it more than that. Okay, yeah, and they do like the Viking IKEA flat pack ship. Okay, so I lied. I said the sock was done, but
there is evidence in the Viking mythology that they had IKEA flat pack ships.
Yeah?
Yes, but just one of them.
Just one of them?
True. Maybe they had the only one.
Tell the story. I'll show off socks. You tell stories.
You want me telling stories now?
You said
do
about the flat pack one,
Well,
that you're the evidence. I want to hear about this
okay.
evidence you have. Sources.
It's 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 a ship made for Freyr, the god of masculinity and virility and all the rest of it. And he has this ship made for him by the dwarves. He doesn't know that it's being made at all. And they build this ship for him that can sail anywhere through the sky, over land, anywhere basically. And then that he can also fold it up and put it into his pockets. Now, not quite an IKEA ship. It's probably where IKEA got its idea from. But IKEA has yet to work out how to fold it up quite that small. There we go.
Just type in crude or something. Okay, but also, actually, come to think of it, in that movie, they were going to burn him alive at the stake.
Oh yeah.
And there was some prayers done.
Monks gone.
No, there were no monks to burn this time. Donald Draper was only having
Oh, thank God.
the main Viking girl and her man.
Yes, and because both of them are really honorable, they say that they will let go the first one to beg for his or her life, and they are trying to convince the other one to beg for their life while they are burning them at the stake. And their way of burning people at the stake is to tie them to a pole and then make a fire like 6 meters in front of them.
Yeah.
So hang on. So that their idea was to burn the Viking man and woman.
Yeah. Well, this was Donald Draper.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have some sacrifices here.
No, I'm not wearing my hair like the big braided rope thing that she had on. He's got way too many clothes on for this show. They were all bare chested.
We're doing the PG version here.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of nipples exposed on those men.
Oh God, horse men then. Oh wow. Okay.
I think that was Donald Draper's plan all along,
Mm.
exposing all the male nipples. Oh, we got to tell the story. Why can't Viking men show their nipples?
Well, it's Karl's turn to tell the
Yeah,
story.
go ahead, Karl.
Because it's considered effeminate. If you go and show off your privates, you obviously want to be manhandled. And we expect this from women, but not from men. So a man that acts like a woman is a woman.
Look now, he dresses like a woman. I want a
With the
divorce.
story that Karl was telling, holding up an egg in the middle of that story is kind of.
No, I have a story there too. Actually, no, the socks are done. I just have to block them, and then when I block them, which is you kind of hit them with an iron, but through a wet cloth, so you don't iron directly on the wool. But then they won't look so bumpy, and things will flatten out and look smooth, and they won't have this little curl that you can see. So that's why my socks in my photos don't look quite like this. They look a little bit more flat and laying flat. It's because I blocked them or steam block them. So anyway, and it makes the stitches look a little bit more even too. So the next thing I'm working on is leftover yarn. I have a skein of it. I'm using Finish 2+2 because it's very skinny yarn. This is Finish 2+2. And the candy egg. Take the candy out, feed the kids. Oops. There we go.
They looked very tired.
Yeah, they've stayed up too late. So they're going to be good now. It's a vacation for them. Anyway, so then I'll tape it shut. And then I will start needle binding around it. There's a tutorial for this on my Instagram if you flip down to last year, I think. Or maybe 2 years ago. We'll have to see. Anyway, so I will needle bind it off the egg until it gets about here. And then when I can't take it off too easily off the egg anymore, then I'll have to needle bind it directly to it. And I'll have another decorated egg. So this is going to be this year's egg. So that's my next project.
You leave the plastic in it then?
Yep. You have to tape it shut, though, just in case it, for some reason, wants to open.
Okay.
Because if you have the thing sitting around it and you can't take it off,
What happens if the plastic gets crushed inside the egg, inside the wall?
well, then you're screwed. Then you're
That was
screwed.
close.
We may have mentioned it. It's not for children. The chat's not for children. So it's, yeah, no, then you would be very screwed.
Oh,
Might-
here comes the
we
egg.
might have to burn you at the
We're gonna
stake.
have to
Yeah.
run in.
We'll just put the computer over here for a minute in the and move the table in. So you'll have to deal with the shadow for a second. All right.
There we go.
We might. Well, we can stand in the rain, but I don't know if they want to. Let's see if it fixes to the light now.
Seems very dark.
Yeah, I think that's my screen has adjusted because my screen thinks it's darker than it actually is. Or is it just my own screen doing that? So hopefully can you still see us? We should be slightly grainier now because it's under a roof.
Hello.
Greg's under the roof because he's a wuss. No. Anyway, and then the next thing I'm working on, of course, is still Greg's socks when I have Greg's legs. But this part of Greg's leg now means I can start tapering. So over the next, I don't know, 3 to 4 centimeters, it will go from this width to the sock width. Actually, I should show it that way. Because once I reach this part of his leg, I can just use this as a measure. But until then, I need his actual leg. Finish 2+2 is something I would use to make thick, warm fabric from worsted wool, yeah. Because, well, this one is actually, I think this is worsted weight. This one here. So it's not very thick, but it's very dense. I can still get some holes through it, but if I did that with this yarn, is it done raining?
Yep.
Oh, we can pull it back out again. Yeah, if I did it with this one, this is Alafos Lopi from Eastex, then it would be really thick as well. So in this case, this mom and stitch is thicker than my finished 2+2, even though this one has more loops than this one does.
I wouldn't bother bringing the laptop back out because looking that way, I think we're going to get hit again.
Yeah, that's okay as long as they can see us. But actually, we have 14 minutes to go. We may actually have enough light if you can handle it getting slightly grainier. It doesn't get much darker than I am right now. But next week, we have daylight savings tonight. So this time tomorrow will be 1 hour earlier. No, we're moving the clocks ahead.
Yeah. It'll
Anyway.
be 7 o'clock. Sorry, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so next week we catch back up to what we were before US changed their clocks. So, oh yeah, no, you can see either rain or snow coming in.
It's coming.
Now I can take out you can see it for a second. Look in the distance. I tripped over a sheep, sorry. But yeah, you can see right about there, the mountains are starting to disappear. So the beauty of Gudvangen is you can see the rain before it gets to you because it comes like a wall. I can hold it out for a few minutes if it's not raining anyway. It's a nipple, says Peruta. No, it's an Easter egg. It's sick girl with the polar bear skin rug. But
I
Arlene's.
think you're ever going to live that one down, Peruta.
No. If we have to have the Viking, the banana hammock, and God knows what else on this channel, then she's going to have to stick with the polar bear skin run. I think it might be blowing wind into the mic, but okay. Anyway, but yeah, finished 2+2 is nice and thick if you have a thicker wool, but it's really nice with thinner yarn because it's dense and not as see-through. They can see us. We weren't too dark, so that was good. Thanks, Raymond.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Russian stitch is really good for dense as well. Don't send the rain down here, says Robin. We've had enough of that the last few days. Well, crap, there goes my plans. I was going to do it. There was something else Easter! It's Easter next Sunday. So next Saturday, we'll come again Saturday next week, by the way, at 6 o'clock, but then we'll have had daylight savings. So check your time. Check what time it is in Norway anyway next week to get the right time, but there'll be a notification up. I should have the Easter egg done. So what are the plans for Easter? Norway escapes to their cabin. What does Corona say?
Nope.
Corona say you can do that, but don't lick the locals and buy your food before you go.
Yeah. And
Corona also
don't bring any
says-
friends with
or
you
no,
to your
weather
cabins.
also says not enough snow to ski, so
Oh, the
why
rain's
bother?
getting closer. You can see
No,
that.
they will do it anyway. It's almost a compulsion at this point, but
Come on, I'm trying to get them away from Voss, please. Just go
Well,
away.
but the thing is, they
Go
can
away.
they can actually fly out of the country. I did not know that.
of course they can.
But there's a huge penalty if they do.
The Norwegian government is basically happy to be getting rid of people. It's coming back that is a bitch.
Yeah.
England is
Without going
fining
there again.
everyone who goes there something like £500.
It's like in the Roman story of Aeneas when he goes to the underworld. He goes and asks Sybil, Sierras, how to get to the underworld. She basically answers him, getting to the underworld is no problem. Getting back, that's a problem.
No, so if they come back into the country, they go immediately into quarantine at a designated hotel at their cost. We are not, Norway's not paying for it, and neither is the hotel. 14 days in a hotel. I think you have to get tested before you get on the plane, after you get on the plane, and and the same in reverse. So we'll see how that goes. The numbers we spiked last week, but now this current week.
We are still up there, but it's flattened out at around 1,000 new cases per day now.
Which is a lot for Norway.
Which is
still above March last year.
Yep.
The beginning.
Oh, yeah, much higher.
Yeah. So, anyways, Norway, but last year they couldn't go to their cabins at all. And this sent Norway in uproar because that's what they do for Easter. They go to their cabins and they bring crime novels, quizzes, crosswords, Easter egg hunt, lots of candy, and suntan lotion.
It's weird what it takes to get Norwegians to be rebellious. You can, generally speaking, we can take the most draconian rules on almost anything without batting an eyelid. But as soon as you start messing with something like this, even when it's for a very good cause,
and everyone can't go to your cabins for 1 week of 1, maybe 2 years.
Yep.
And the reactions?
Yeah, no.
I mean, you can take away their offices, you can take away their school, but you cannot take away their cabins. No.
Just try it.
Yep. No. So we've been in Gudvangen now. You and I are out of quarantine now. So I think we're on day 11 or something, but we're here till the 6th. Anyway, so,
and we still don't lick the locals.
We still don't lick Greg's the only local we lick. He's in our cohort.
No, Toral's banned. Toral's banned him from licking me. I'm safe.
Greg is the only local. We have a strict order from our boss not to lick.
Ha-ha!
We're not allowed to lick Greg. No.
We can lick others locals if we wanted to.
Yeah. No. So other than my
I'm
kids,
safe.
Greg this is my whole cohort.
I have a protective bubble around me.
Yep.
Granted by God herself.
So okay, so what are we going to do for Easter? Well, Norway has this whole week off and all the way up to the 6th for some reason. My kids do at least. It's normally the 5th. Norway takes all the Easter days off. United States, at least in Duluth, if you were Catholic or something, you went to church anyway on Wednesday, maybe Thursday, Friday, and then Sunday, and then Monday again. Norway takes those days off and they don't go to church.
But the thing is that America has a strong separation between church and state.
Yeah.
That is something Norway has just basically doubled in doing kind of in the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
The Norwegian Protestant Lutheran Church is the Norske Statskirke, the Norwegian government church.
Yeah.
So Christian holidays were mandated holidays, and they still are. First day of Christmas, first day of Easter, nothing will be open.
Yeah, no, the stores are closed too.
Yeah.
Liquor stores, everything. None. Actually, though, no liquor stores are open on Sundays anyway here.
No.
A certain Viking diner, on the other hand.
The Viking diner will probably be open as long as Corona allows us to.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're closed because we fall in the museum category, so we're not allowed to have opened. Things like that. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Sulu and Quick Lunch. Sulu is like orange pop. Soda, sorry, guess what part of the United States I come from? We call it pop. So Sulu, I think they actually have Solo in the United States, and then Quick Lunch, which is kind of like a Kit Kat. But
close.
Then they have that saying, "Ut på tur, aldrig sur," when go out for a tour in the woods and you'll never be angry. Or crabby, I don't know.
I don't think I've heard anybody use that sentence unironically, ever.
No, it's only this "Ut på tur, aldrig sur."
It's something you say with a stiff grin when you're blowing over and soaking wet.
In your best Nynorsk, go ahead, say it to the camera in that look that you would say it in. Ut på tur, aldrig sur.
Ut på tur, aldrig sur.
There you go. Yeah. No, so they'll also go for walks and things like that in the mountains, but we'll see. Skiing, if the ski resorts are open up there.
Yes.
Do-
But
what?
you don't need a ski resort to ski. You just need snow.
Sorry, weird
And then
question.
there's the
Very
US
weird
and
question.
Texas rules.
What the hell do they put into Solo that makes kids go absolutely, utterly crazy?
I don't know, because they have sugar-free Solo, but they have the regular.
Well, one of my friends, I've never seen him hyper on any sugary stuff ever until
Yeah.
he had a Solo.
Huh?
One bloody Solo, he was bouncing off the train walls.
It is
It
I
better
was,
than
can't
Kit Kat.
explain it, and not even the sugar would explain it. The most logical conclusion is that kids associate it with woohoo party time, and as soon as they feel the taste, they go in woohoo party mode.
This is an English kid.
Yeah.
We don't have Solo in England.
I don't have a good explanation.
He was also a teenager kid, so he shouldn't have been going woohoo party time at that age anyway.
Back many years ago, there was a period of time when I was a student,
Mhm,
when I was drunk basically every day for a couple of weeks.
mhm.
And I drank gin and grape soda.
Okay.
So when I decided, okay, enough with the alcohol already, we have to have this couple of days where we don't drink.
Where is it falling?
Is that a fall or is that
That's an
thunder?
avalanche.
It's an avalanche, but I think it's over there.
Oh,
We're at
great.
the time of year. This is Gudvangen.
I'm not getting home tonight.
No, it's not that one.
It's a small one.
It's a small one. Anyway, yeah. So, by the way, last year around this time we were talking about Gudvangen whiplash, because we're surrounded by mountains. When there is actually an avalanche, it's like an echo. So you do this.
I just stopped caring after a while. But yeah, no, I was on my gin and grape soda story.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah.
So when I decided to stop drinking for a while, my refrigerator is full of grape soda. So the only thing I have to drink is grape soda. And my brain, I know there is no alcohol in this grape soda. But my brain basically short circuits as soon as it feels the taste. So I going,
Okay. If any of Karl's friends watch this, can one of you tell him which it was of you who spiked his grape sodas all the time? Please,
your
thank
sister
you.
and brother-in-law are usually on here too, both of you. So then they will know. Ah, Bjornar is on there. Bjornar, did you hear what Greg just asked? Can you explain this phenomenon? He said you should mention the love for British crime during Easter here in Holloway. Yes, British crime is a big one, because basically British only like to make crime. Is that true, Greg? The British.
What's
ones?
that?
Why do Norwegians like British crime during Easter? Well, for one, it's crime during Easter, but it's always British crime.
I don't know.
What is it with you?
I
It's
don't
like
know.
you don't produce anything else but crime in your country.
I can give you two
TV
parallel
shows.
explanations for that.
Yep.
First of all, back when I was a kid, we only had this one TV channel, and I didn't like the American ones because there was too much violence. I liked
We like to blow stuff
the
up.
British ones. So
Agatha Christie.
I bought British and German crime shows and no American ones.
Hmm.
The other explanation is that if you're looking at the crime genre as mystery, Agatha Christie-like
Agatha
types
Christie,
of crime
yeah.
is the main characters, Miss Marple and Hercule Poirot, have personalities, but their personalities is completely in the backseat compared to the plot.
Mhm.
The plot is what it's about.
Yep.
Generally, in American crime, you have the characters. It's much more character driven,
Monk.
and for instance,
It's a jungle out there. Sorry.
so the plot is kind of secondary.
Mm.
And if you want to try yourself as a detective, it's the plot you're interested in.
My problem is when I'm watching them, I'm going, that's the bastard right there.
Oh, that's what we got my kid watching Monk too, and it's now not on Amazon Prime anymore, but we got through almost all of it.
Oh, I'll have to bring it with me.
Oh, good. We missed half of the last season and almost all of the last. No, half of the
Second to last
second
season.
to last and almost
And
all
all
of
the
them.
right. No worries.
We went fast forward
I
to the
will
end.
bring with it.
Bjornar writes, Solo is one of the final national brands that survived the invasion from international brands like Pepsi and Cola. So many of us love Solo simply because many shops are told by Cola not to sell it. I didn't know that. I thought Solo was Pepsi. And Fanta was Coke.
Solo is
Fanta.
Coca-Cola is Fanta.
Yeah, but I thought Solo was Pepsi.
no, Solo is Hansa Bryggerier, who also has a license on Coca-Cola for Norway.
Ah,
So it's the same brewery.
Yeah. Or yeah. For want of a better.
Poirot, you were just talking about that one.
Yeah. What about Poirot?
Got to have some Hercules
Oh God,
Poirot
yes.
during Easter.
I like
Yep.
Poirot.
No, but actually, we have 1 minute
Poirot.
left. It's okay if we go over time. It's just a matter if they have time. But we were kind of thinking one thing. We did ask this question last year. Did Vikings have an equivalent of Easter? Obviously, they're not Christian, or they didn't start out that way anyway. But
They would not celebrate the Jewish Exodus.
No.
They would not celebrate the crucifixion of the carpenter.
uh-uh.
To the extent that they would celebrate it for all the wrong reasons.
Mm.
Would they celebrate equinox?
Maybe.
That's
Because
what's-
that's the closest date to, especially this year. It's
Yes,
very
but-
close to the
Oh.
equinox.
But Easter is on the lunar calendar.
I know
So
it is.
It's kind of, I think,
Don't get me started on why that pisses me off. Easter being on the lunar calendar. It's just ridiculous.
Oh, this is a story you're going to
you
tell next
English,
week.
you English people used almost all you had of bloody pergament in
clear
the migration era on discussing just this subject.
Pass. See, clear.
But if they had an equinox celebration, it would be independent of Easter. It wouldn't.
Oh, I didn't mean as a holiday. I just as a Easter holiday. I just meant that would be logically to me the closest thing to time frame wise of Easter when Easter is early.
Some kind of fertility thing in connection with spring is reasonable.
Yeah.
But I don't know of any sources.
You doing going over the fence like that? You
Oh, yeah.
stupid sheep.
He doesn't know which side he wants to be at. No, never mind. We've decided.
Yeah, that's
He's-
because you turned the camera on him.
Do you realize there's a double meaning there? He doesn't know which side of the fence he wants to be on.
Yeah.
Is this because we clipped him? Well, anyway, he's chosen. Okay. This one wants to be that one, and this one wants to be on this side of the fence.
Okay, so one of them's gay. Which one?
Yeah, that's the question. We're on this side of the fence, so I guess we've made a
That one.
decision. Yeah. But actually, there was one person that wrote as a comment in Yarnpunk.
Stop it.
He just wants me. He's pawing me because he wants me to feed him. He's like a big dog with a hard head. Ostra,
Oh,
or
yes.
Estra,
Mm.
and this one we found out it's Germanic and Anglo-Saxon, but
Yes, but
it's pagan, but it's not.
It's
There's
unless there is more, and I haven't read the source itself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whoops.
But apparently, all Beda says about it is that the month
Sorry.
in the month of April they used to worship. They used to have a feast for Ostere,
Hmm.
but they have now started celebrating Easter.
Yeah.
So this tells us nothing about what Ostere is.
No.
What she.
No, but you know the story around
Do you know about
this.
this one? Because it turns out it's more where you're from than.
The thing with the story is that it's very recent. It's neo-pagan.
Yeah, but I mean about the rabbit and her boyfriend and all of that. You know all of that.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
the
We started to
neo-pagan
read
thing.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The new pagan theory. Yeah, because rabbits were a great symbol of massive breeding.
Yeah, no, it's it makes sense to have the rabbit as a fertility symbol. It's almost hitting the nail too hard on the head.
But you know the whole
Uh,
story about what happened in the myth.
Yeah, what's the source for the myth?
I can't remember, but I have read it in one
Maybe
of
it's the
my
vitamin C,
mythological
yeah.
encyclopedias,
Hmm.
which generally speaking don't go
Hold
into
it this
the
way.
neo stuff. They tend to stay towards the ones
Hmm.
I've got.
No, but for me, basically everything after 1100 is
Ah, yeah, okay.
new stuff. It's not neo. That would be
Yeah.
Hmm.
modern stuff.
Yeah.
But the problem is that you have a fairly strong current of I want to believe people who want to make bridges from things we are doing now and back to the ancient past.
Mhm.
And they have a tendency to just pull things out of thin air, or
Yeah.
either that or they have sources I've never heard about.
Yeah.
And they are horribly bad at naming their sources.
Hmm.
They only had this
I'll
guy
see if I
named
can
Bede.
look it up in one of my
Bede or Bede?
encyclopedias and see if I
Bede,
can find.
Bede.
Bede, yeah.
He is an historic character. He is sainted both by the Catholic and Orthodox Church.
Okay.
And the Pope declared him a doctor of the church. That was much later.
Hmm.
But he wrote books. He was, this is, I think this book is from 725, so well before the Viking Age. And what he is talking about is time and how time works, basically. He has an understanding that the Earth is round, and he's not.
Can hold it this
But
way
he
so
is
I can
not
see
writing
you.
about myths. He is writing about time.
Yeah.
And this is something he mentions in connection with the month of April.
Well, I will just say I will look up and see if I can find any good sources for the Ustra myth
Yeah,
and all of that. And
even
then
if it isn't.
if it's accurate enough for my acceptance, then we might have a story next week.
But
Yeah, well, we have one more day
still,
till
story.
Easter Sunday. So
but still, even if it should be something there, it would be Anglo-Saxon and not Viking.
Anglo-Saxon, Germanic, yeah. So that might have been.
It's if it is something there, then it is from the right time period.
But it
Just from
overlaps.
my side of the fence.
Yeah, I was just going to say it does overlap a little bit with the mythology and your side of the fence. So we might need to go into that. So now we're at overtime. I'm going to bring up one more comment because I thought this was awesome. Raymond wrote it. There are always Aussies who forget the liquor stores are closed on Good Friday, and it leads to a lot of begging posts on Facebook. I didn't think of that. But let me tell you a really fun Corona thing, because this is awesome. So when they decided to do another little mild lockdown, was about 2 months ago or something, for the Oslo area, they decide they're going to close the liquor stores too. So the liquor stores have this huge long line for the last time that it was open, and they're all like distanced socially apart. So this goes down for blocks and blocks and blocks. But there were people that were smarter than that. So in order to keep people in the area and closing the liquor store, people then drove 2 to 3 hours out of the area to spread and lick people at the liquor store over there and then come back. So they immediately reopened the liquor stores.
I can't for the life of me understand that I didn't see this one coming.
That was so funny, though. So that's my little story. Okay, and then Greg, next week, Saturday, same time. Well, daylight savings, remember. We turn our clocks tonight.
So we might be indoors next time.
We might be indoors because enjoy this view. It'll take a couple of weeks before it's about this light again at this time of day. It's actually 7:06, and we can still see. You can still see us.
It's a miracle.
Okay. Thank you for playing with us. And we will see you next week.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye. The sheep say bye too.